Latest news, and what a weekend it's been, not just on the football pitch. We're going to start off with Jamie Carragher's spitting at a Manchester United fan whilst driving in his car. It's sensational. I saw it yesterday and I just thought, I can't believe that he's done that. I can't believe he's done it. And it is. Look, it's ridiculous, isn't it? I don't think anybody can find it defensible. Should he be sacked from Sky Sports is what a lot of people are saying today. Remember, Richard Keys and Andy Gray were sacked for sexist remarks, quite rightly. Does this cross that line? Where is the line in relation to trolling that a lot of people get, a lot of celebrities get? Did he cross the line? Should he be defended for reacting like that? You know, he's lost his cool. The people will decide, and Sky Sports will decide, and I personally don't think he should be sacked, and I don't think he will be sacked. But what I want to say is this: there's a lot of people out there saying that, so basically the situation, if you don't know it, from what we understand, is Jamie Carragher's driving home from the Manchester United-Liverpool game. There's a bloke in another car with his daughter in the passenger seat. There's been some sort of banter going on for a little bit of a while. It gets to the point where the man is actually filming Jamie Carragher, and Jamie Carragher winds his window down and spits at the car. A little bit of the spittle goes in and hits the girl, and that's on camera, and that's Carragher now in the limelight. Now, not the limelight where he wants to be. A lot of people are saying, well, the bloke who's filming it should be in trouble because he's driving and filming it. I think that's irrelevant. I think that's for the police to deal with. I don't think that matters. I don't think Jamie Carragher's wearing a seatbelt either. So if you want to go down, oh, he shouldn't be filming it or anything like that, the reality, if it wasn't filmed, would this even be in the spotlight? Would Carragher even have apologised if it hadn't been filmed? Because where's the evidence? So in some ways, the fact that it's been filmed is a good thing because it's exposed what Carragher did, which was wrong. The fact that he's filming it when he's driving, well, a lot of people, there's people on YouTube filming themselves whilst driving, so that's a different matter. That doesn't excuse what Carragher did. That's a separate thing. And like I say, it doesn't look like Carragher's wearing a seatbelt. So if we want to get into technicalities about road traffic offences, then that's that. The reality is we don't know what that fan was doing. It could have been very simple, like this, driving alongside him. Both swear signs, but both the score as well. Of course, Jamie Carragher's been a professional sportsman for many years. I'm quite surprised that he would get so wound up by a bit of banter, especially when Carragher gives it out himself. I mean, one of the great things about Sky Sports is the Carragher-Neville dynamic, and it is very banter, United-Liverpool banter. So I'm very surprised that he would wind his window down and spit. Doing that is not good. It's not. It's repulsive. It's not good. Not many people would do it. I wouldn't do it. I'm sure a lot of you wouldn't do it. I might give him a bit of a sign back, but I wouldn't have done that. And it's a bit like the mentality of a Suarez with the bite. You have to wonder about people who are spitting. It's disgusting. Al Hajj Diouf used to get a lot of stick for doing it. It's a mindset that many people don't have, and it's very petulant. It's very childish. And it's vulgar, and he shouldn't have done it. And the problem is, he is in the public eye, and that I think he can come through this, but I do think that it's not excusable. But the sympathy I have with it a little bit is this. I remember when Eric Cantona got sent off many years, and I was actually at secondary school at the time, and I did a project on it the next day and for the next week about why Cantona shouldn't be banned from football because he's a footballer. Obviously, he kicks that fan in the stadium, and he shouldn't have done it. But it's a bit like Evra recently as well. You can get pushed so far, and people can come up and say to you what they like. You can get pushed so far that you see the red mist. And I think, everybody deserves a second chance. But it won't be me who decides it. Has to get sacked. No excuses. Acted like a kid, says Gents Tech. Pankaj, it's a disgrace for such a Liverpool legend to do it. Glidey Gamer says, I always thought Carragher was a swallower. Adam says he should be sacked. And there could be no insult worthy of spitting, says George Kyle. I think the fact that he's spitting. I mean, imagine if we flip it the other way and actually he'd just done give the bloke the V's back. I mean, I'm sure that might have been a little bit newsworthy, but it's the fact that he's spitting. It's the fact that there's a kid in the car. It doesn't look good. Even though he's a Liverpool player, he's still only a human, I guess, says Luca. Yeah, I would like to fall on that side of things. At the end of the day, I do believe that everybody deserves a second chance. from a Sky Sports perspective, you might want to look at it and go, do we want to employ somebody who, when they get into a bit of an argument, they're spitting at people? That's for them to decide, and that's for, I think Carragher probably needs to go and sort himself out a little bit and ask questions about why he would react like that. In his apology tweet, he was like, I really apologise, there's no excuses, but he was bantering me all the way up the motorway. Well, you've almost qualified it there with that final statement. Apologise, no excuses, end it. Don't give us the bit about the bantering, because I think we can all understand that there was some bantering, and maybe it was, you know, abusive bantering, maybe in front of that bloke's daughter. So he, you know, the bloke who's filmed it is not innocent in all this. He's contributed to it. The daughter is the innocent party. She's had a bit of spit and probably had to listen to her dad swearing at Carragher. But that doesn't excuse Carragher's spitting. That's the thing. It's like, you know, he's almost trying to find an excuse for his behaviour. It's not. He said it himself. There's no excuses. You can't be spitting at people. And certainly not when you are in the public eye. And it's a shame, because I don't like Liverpool and I didn't like Carragher at Liverpool. But as a pundit, I quite liked that dynamic with Neville. But also, if you look at Carragher on social media and everything, he's quite arrogant, is he? He's always got something to say. He's always got somebody to wind up. And some people will say, well, you know, you've got what you deserve now because you've been bantering people yourself mercilessly on Twitter. I mean, some of the players he's attacked, Danny Simpson, to name one, ex-United. There's a few players he's had a pop at. And then if you're going to do that, you've got to be flawless yourself. And, you know, obviously everyone's got skeletons in their closets and everyone's going to make a mistake. But you can't be ribbing people mercilessly and then go and spit at someone on camera. You know, you make yourself, he undermines himself a bit now. And also, I suppose that's something as well. Can he actually continue doing what he's done well on Sky Sports when everyone can always throw at him now, the spitting thing? And will he lose his temper again? It's difficult, isn't it? Spitting versus dangerous driving with a child in the car and probably using many swear words, says Tony. Look, I agree with you. I don't agree what the driver did was right, but I think the big issue here is, you know, Jamie Carragher wasn't wearing a seatbelt, like I said. If you want to talk about driving whilst filming, of course that bloke's wrong. And the swearing that he's undoubtedly probably due to wind Carragher up is wrong. But Carragher driving along with no seatbelt's wrong. The big focus here should just be Jamie Carragher, public figure, spitting at two members of the public. That is the issue. Not the reasons for it, because you may well believe that actually the reasons for it are justifiable. It's really Jamie Carragher, Sky Sports, millions of people watching him, public figure, spitting at a member of public. That's it in a sentence. You know, forget the surrounding circumstances, because it may be justifiable for Carragher to react, but it's not justifiable for him to spit. And then it's whether it's what Sky do. Is there similarities between what Richard Keys and Andy Gray got kicked off for? Some people still feel that Keys and Gray, despite obviously being quite sexist, are missed from Sky Sports, but I think they were quite rightly got rid of. I think there was some sort of, obviously, job for the boys situation there, and they needed to go. But does Carragher need to go? It'll be down to Sky Sports. I don't think they'll want to lose him. I don't think he'll go. Do you think this could have been a media setup to catch him out, says Ian Turlington? I don't think. I think the media are always waiting for stuff like this, Ian. I really do, and I do sympathise with people in the public eye, because I don't think Carragher's been paid millions of pounds to be a footballer. Carragher's paid millions of pounds to talk about football. I don't think Carragher will have you know, is expected to be some sort of politician, but whether it's a setup or not, him spitting is the issue. I wouldn't have had I throw it to you, like, I wouldn't have had a problem with Carragher if he'd done a V sign back to the. If that's what we were talking about today, I'd say, oh, get lost. You don't know what that fan's been saying to him, and he's giving the finger, he's giving the bird. So what? You know, so what? But spitting, that's the element that to me. Friend 2018 thinks it's a publicity stunt. Sky have many replacements in the wings, says George Kyle. He should be sacked, says MD Khaled. It's Smalling's fault. Sexist pigs, Keys and Gray, says Phil F. Who cares what Carragher has done? He's not ex-United, so what's this matter, Mark? It's this channel is about football, mate. It's about the weekend, and it's a big talking point. Interested to see what you've got to say. Mark, don't you think such a huge professional like him should handle banter, says Pankaj? Yes, he delivers banter mercilessly. I can't believe he's reacted like that. You know, you sort of have I've been on this planet quite a few years, and you sort of get to know how people are without actually meeting them, and he is somebody who is quite good with the banter. Whether you read his Twitter or you watch him on the telly, he's quite quick with the banter. So that to me would demonstrate that that's somebody who's very used to banter. So for him to react to a little bit of banter like that, I mean, Somebody was saying, had he had a drink? Was he on something? Well, you can't start throwing allegations around like that. But why would he get so wound up? Why would he get so wound up? It's stupid to spit, especially if you are a former professional footballer and now pundit. Shouldn't have lost his temper, says Prajit. And Troy Deeney showed how to handle trolls accusing him of lacking cojones. As a Liverpool fan, this is disgraceful. He should not have done this. There's no excuse, says Tito Boss. Well, I'm glad that we've got a Liverpool fan on there because, as Alex says though, can you beat Neville and Jamie on Sky? They do work very well together. And we don't want Jamie Redknapp, do we? I mean, I suppose Neville will be hoping that Carragher survives it as well because they have got a good dynamic. And I don't really see anybody waiting in the wings who has got that sort of, raw banter element to them. It just makes you wonder what that guy in the car said. Must have been some genius stuff, says Sly Ninja Gaming. I don't know, I was thinking about it this morning and I really do wonder if it was just driving along going like that. Because what can you do car to car? Remember, Carragher wound his window down to spit. So the windows weren't down. So what can you do? What can you do? And I think it was just this. I imagine it might have been something like this. So you're swearing at someone, but you're giving them the score as well. I might be way off, but would that wound you up if you were going home in your car and someone's going like that to you? Personally, I wouldn't be in a great mood if I was a Liverpool fan driving home from that game. But if I saw somebody doing it, I'd put my music on loud and I just wouldn't look to my right. That's the solution, isn't it? Don't get yourself drawn in. And that's just me. I'm not Jamie Carragher. If I'm Jamie Carragher, I'd be like, he's winding me up, turn my music on, look forward. The last thing I want to do is jeopardise this great setup I've got for my life for some idiot. Take it on the chin. And he will have done it so many times throughout his career. You just do wonder. It was simply you've never won the Premier League, says George Kyle. Who knows? He does. I think he does deserve a second chance, but we'll see. Anyway, on to the weekend itself. Well, it's not been a good weekend for Liverpool all in all, has it? I mean, beaten comprehensively by Manchester United at the weekend. And you know what? I hope we have got a few Liverpool fans on here because I think, as a Manchester United fan myself, I'm more focused on Sevilla tomorrow because if we lose that, we'll get a load of pelters ourselves and we've beaten Liverpool and we move on. That's what we do. But if you're a Liverpool fan, you've got to sit on that defeat for a while, haven't you? I don't know when Liverpool's next game is. I think they're in a bit of a nightmare situation actually. If I just have a quick look, Liverpool's next game, they don't play until the 17th. So they are playing on Saturday at 5:30. Fair play, because it's an FA Cup weekend, isn't it? But I thought, they've got a game? So they've only got till Saturday to wait, but they've got to dwell on that defeat all week, whereas United go for another game. And if United get beat tomorrow, Liverpool fans will be, we're in the quarterfinals, it doesn't matter. So it's not over for United and it's not over for Liverpool. That rivalry will continue. It's a big victory, but if United don't beat Sevilla tomorrow, it becomes an insignificant one. Whereas Liverpool are sort of left with it. If I was a Liverpool fan, I'd be just very disappointed that, I was saying it last week, a lot of people were saying it, Jurgen Klopp doesn't have a plan B. And again, we saw he doesn't have a plan B. I thought the only way they were going to score was from corners, which were good, and get Van Dijk on the end of them. But Mourinho brought Fellaini on and killed that, and that was it. And actually, you've got to get a corner to get that threat. Your plan B should be actually something you can dictate, because corners can be quite fortuitous, can't they? Keeper's got to make a save, or it's got to deflect off someone. That was Liverpool's threat. That was their plan B, corners. And Klopp struggled there. Also, no show from Salah. Talking on this channel last week about what a good player Salah is, really didn't turn up. And Ashley Young's not a left back, so something went wrong for Liverpool. But maybe they were just a little bit arrogant. I've said it in the past, and I think it has been naive to expect United to go to Anfield and batter them. It's such a big game. It's such a big atmosphere. And Liverpool will bounce back. They're in a real battle for top four now. It just swings and roundabouts. A couple of weeks ago, I really thought that United were going to get sucked into a battle for top four because Spurs and Liverpool were doing so well. United beat Chelsea, United beat Liverpool, 4 points clear of Spurs in third, 5 points clear of Chelsea in fourth, and 9 points clear of Chelsea in fifth. You'd feel United are there. Spurs no longer in the Champions League, should give them the momentum now to focus. It was a really good result for them yesterday, 4-1 away to Bournemouth. Harry Kane's injury could be a problem. We'll see what happens with that, but I think Spurs will be there. And I do think Liverpool will make it as well, but I think that if you look at, there's a 4-point gap between Liverpool and Chelsea, and I think the thing for Liverpool now is they need to get their heads down. They've got Watford at home, then they've got Palace away, which has been a bit of a problem for them. But if they win those two games, it should then allow them to go into the derby with Everton on the 8th, where if they win that, then they beat Bournemouth. They've got a run in that's favourable compared to what Chelsea and Tottenham have got, because Chelsea and Tottenham have got each other. Manchester United, I think they should be fine, like I say, but I really do think that Liverpool will make top 4, Manchester United will make top 4, and then whether Chelsea could actually catch Spurs is the interesting thing, because Chelsea play Spurs on the 1st of April. And then Spurs run in, they've got City as well. I think it will be as it is at the moment. I think it will be Chelsea, Spurs, and Spurs, Liverpool, United, Man City. And if United finish second, I think they should be very, very pleased with that. Elsewhere, Arsenal winning again. Wenger in. He's got this brilliant knack of just producing the results when he looks like he's going to be dead and buried. Beat AC Milan, and then they beat Watford at the weekend. So Wenger is clearly going to be here till the summer. And I think if they don't lose games, if they won the Europa League, he'll stay, won't he? Down the bottom's interesting. West Brom hammered by Leicester. Leicester pretty much saved themselves. They've hit the magic 40 points. West Brom 20 points, 8 points clear, 8 points off safety. You'd feel they're going to go down, and you'd feel Pardew, how much longer can he last? And then Stoke and Crystal Palace. I think Crystal Palace are too good to go down. I've seen them, they were unlucky against United, but there's, you've got second bottom Stoke on 27 points, and then you've got, you can go all the way up to 12th, who are 5 points off Stoke, which is Newcastle, Swansea, Huddersfield, West Ham, Southampton, Palace, Stoke. They're all in there. West Ham are struggling at the moment. David Moyes was doing quite well. They're struggling at the moment. So it's very, very interesting. But it just shows you, if there are any Man City fans out there, I mean, big weekend. You're playing tonight. No one's really interested. You've absolutely annihilated this Premier League, and nobody is interested. And I think that's the problem that Manchester City have. They've got all this money. Pep's got an open checkbook. They're playing the best football, arguably in Europe, certainly in this country. Team full of talent. If they're Arsenal, they're Liverpool, they're Manchester United, the focus on them would be unbelievable. And I think the press and Sky and BT and everybody else, they want to put the focus onto City because of what they're doing, but they realise that there just isn't a fan base or interest out there. It's a bit like when Blackburn Rovers won it. It's a bit like Chelsea in the early years. There's not enough people interested in Man City, and that's the problem when you buy instant success. It's like there's nothing behind it. It's quite scratched the surface, and there's nothing there. I mean, there's the Man City support, but nobody's really interested in City beyond that. The media want to be, but if they do an article on Pep's going to sign Messi in the summer, it's not really going to get the clicks as Liverpool are going to sign Keita, or Arsenal are going to sign Lewandowski, or United are going to sign Alexandro. And that's the problem Man City are up against. And people think, it's you just having a pop at Man City, but it's not. They are absolutely devastating this season. Dominant, devastating, the works. But nobody's that interested, because beyond their support, that's it. And that's what happens. And this is down to their ownership. They're desperately trying to build a big brand because they've got everything in place, but they just don't have the support. Whether that will grow or not, I don't know. But fed up of the Pep. I can't say that, Andrew. No one's interested in. No one supports them, says Gents Tex. What's your thoughts on Robbie Savage's comments, says John Sherrell? I haven't seen Robbie Savage's comments. He's blocked us on Twitter, and I find him quite dull. Mark, did you watch ESPN FC yesterday? Comments of Aveli Mourinho and Steve Nicol. No, again, Steve Nichol's just a weirdo. Crystal Palace will survive. They have a good run of games, says Gents Tech. I feel that it's going to be interesting who goes down. At this point, I would say West Brom. I think Huddersfield will get pulled in, and maybe West Ham, but it's a very interesting one. Very interesting one. Mark, I hope Wenger never dies and retires, says Pankaj. Mark, sack Jamie Carragher and bring in Ferdinand from BT Sports, says Rayuk08. I think BT Sports do have. I like Lampard. Mark, my brother is a West Ham season ticket holder, and he was at the game against Burnley with all the trouble, says Rayuk. And everyone talking about Salah missing, but I miss Uncle Bobby Firmino, says John Sherrell. When will you do a video on the Mark Goldbridge account, says Luca? I do need to do another one. I'm just thinking for material at the moment. Maybe if Carragher gets sacked, I'll do one on there. Empty head, says Gentech. Okay, I've gone on a little bit longer than I wanted to. Only meant to do 10 minutes, but we'll see what happens with the Carragher thing. Drop us your comments on it. Please do subscribe if you're new. The week ahead, we'll have a video going up for you every day at midday. And the next watch-along is going to be Chelsea-Barcelona on Wednesday night. Second leg from the new camp. 1-1 first leg. That's our next watch-along. Unless you want to watch the United one, which will be on the United stand tomorrow, which is against Sevilla. Big game, but we'll be doing that on the United stand. So thanks, everybody, for watching. And I shall speak to you while I'm doing a 1 o'clock preview on the United stand for the Sevilla game, if you want to join me there. If not, here again, midday tomorrow. Thanks everyone for watching. Drop a like. Give us your thoughts on the Carragher thing. This is your show. Give us your thoughts below. Give us your comments. What do you think? Over to you.